Thank you for coming back to the Legends Leaving channel. Today, May 24th, we come together again to honor some famous people who died recently or today. Through their work in the arts, these people have left an indelible mark on our minds and on the world. We are saddened by their deaths and want their families and fans to know that we are thinking of them. Peace out. Please show your respect and remember them by liking this movie, if their stories have moved you or if you are moved by the extraordinary lives they lived. Thanks for living in our neighborhood. Today, we'll talk about some bad news about actor Macaulay Culkin in this movie. A well-known Czech actor and director, Jan Kacker was born on October 3rd, 1936, and died on May 24th, 2024. During his long and successful career, which began in 1960 and lasted over 60 years, he was in more than 60 films. Kacker got better at playing at the Academy of Performing Arts in Prague, GAMU. This shows how dedicated and passionate he is about the art. Besides acting on films, he had other skills as well. He was a very important person in Czech theater. He was an actress and a director at the Drama Club and later at the famous theater on the Balustrade. Kacker did a lot in politics as well as making important contributions to the arts. But he was a representative in the Federal Assembly from 1990 to 1992, which shows how much he cares about the growth and government of his country. His personal life was also interesting. He was married to the famous actress Nina Deviskova and had a close relationship with her until she died. Jan Kacker died on May 24th, 2024, after a long illness got worse. He was 87 years old. His death put an end to a time in Czech theater and film. The large amount of work he produced and the important things he did for Czech Republic culture and politics honor him today. People are still moved by Kacker's life and work, which show how dedicated he was to his art and his country. He was born on September 20th, 1947, and died on May 19th, 2024. Jan Peter Falk was a famous Swedish actor, manager, and writer. During his long and successful career, he worked closely with Stockholm Stadstetter and became a well-known person there. Falk was best known for his role as Carl Grippenhielm in the soap opera Nya Teater, which showed off his great acting skills and brought him a lot of praise. He was also very good at improvisational acting, which showed how versatile he was. People also loved Falk's role as Cabinet Secretary Peter Sorman in the show Fiendens Fiende. It was in Umeå in the late 1960s that Falk's career in the arts began. He worked as a writer for Västerbotten's Folkblad newspaper. Because he loved playing so much, he went to the Sundskolan in Malmö and studied there from 1969 to 1973. When he was done with school, he devoted himself to children's play in Norrköping. The first play Falk was in with Stockholm Stadstetter was IK, Kamraterna, which was about football and took place in 1973. He also worked with Clarosov Theater and Vetenskaps Theater, and showing off a wide range of theater skills. Falk and Helga Skog brought freestyle theater to Stockholm Stadstetter in the mid-1980s, which changed the way theater was done. This new way of doing things became a trademark of his work, and he talked more about it as a panelist on the Swedish radio show Pullman Newton. In the late 1980s, his career in TV and films really took off. The first movie that helped launch it was Svart Gryning, which was based on the case of Dagmar Hagelin. After that, Falk was in a number of well-known TV shows, including Fiendens Fiende, Guldtuppen, and Nya Teater, where he played Carl in 435 episodes on TV4. The long-term disease that Jan Peter Falk had led to his death on May 19, 2024, at the age of 76. Perrette Suplex was a famous French actor who was born on April 22, 1930. She worked in films and on TV. She had a long career that left a lasting mark on the entertainment business. People all over France loved Suplex because of how talented and dedicated she was. She died on May 20th, 2024, at the age of 94. She left behind a legacy of great roles and services to French films and TV shows. Gaetano Di Vaio was born on February 27, 1968, in the Pistola neighborhood of Naples. He was a talented Italian who was good at many things, including, even though Di Vaio came from a poor home, his determination helped him get ahead. In his early years, he went through a lot of hard times, including a time when he was abused and violent at a special school. Upon leaving school, he became involved in crime and drug dealing, but he never had anything to do with the Camorra. In the end, his path took him to Pejorio prison, where he stayed until 1998. After he was freed, Di Vaio went on a trip that changed him. He found comfort and meaning in the arts. In 2001, he joined a theater group that Peppe Lanzetta had started. This sparked his love of telling stories. After that, he started the culture group Figli del Bronx, which turned into a place for him to show his films. By making films about poverty, drug trafficking, young unemployment, and social justice, Di Vaio brought attention to the plight of underprivileged groups. Gaetano Di Vaio's life was tragically cut short on May 22, 2024, when he died from injuries he got in a scooter accident in Giuliano, Campania. He was 56 years old. His untimely death took away a visionary filmmaker who showed the harsh truths of life without fear. DeVio's stories have an effect on people's lives, and he never stopped fighting for those who couldn't speak for themselves. Daniel Haraban was born on March 25, 1980, in Trnava, Slovakia. He was a multi-talented artist who was admired as one of the best singers and musicians in the country. He got a lot of praise for being able to easily switch between comedic and tragic parts. After graduating from the Academy of Performing Arts in Bratislava in 2004, Haraban began an amazing playing career. He started at the theater in Martin and then moved on to the Slovak National Theater in 2014. Haraban showed off his huge talent in both TV shows and films over the course of his work. People in Slovakia watched him on TV and remembered the great roles he played in long-running shows like Horna Dolma, Drua Shanta, and Pampa. His parts in films like Unos and Svina also made him even more of a force in the movie industry. The Man Who Stood in the Way, Haraban's last movie, came out after his death on May 25th. 2023. He played the famous character Alexander Dubček in this movie, which was a moving reminder of how talented and versatile he was. Haraban won many awards for his work in theater and TV, including 2 Dosky Awards in 2012 and 2013, and an Odo Award in 2015. These awards show how skilled and dedicated he is to his job. Even though Haraban did great things at work, his personal life was mainly about love and family. From 2005 to 2007, he was married to actress Slavka Halchikova. After that, he found happiness with actress Kamila Harabanova and had 2 sons with her. He also had another son from a past relationship. Daniel Haraban did not have a long life. He died of a heart attack in Sveti on May 24th when he was 43 years old. When he suddenly died, it left a hole in the Slovak entertainment industry. Many of his fellow actors and even President Zuzana Kapitova paid tribute to his amazing memory and lasting effect. Tina Turner was a famous singer, songwriter, and actor who was born Anna Mae Bullock on November 26, 1939. She was known as the Queen of Rock and Roll. She became famous overnight as the powerful lead singer of the duo Ike and Tina Turner. After that, she had a very successful single career. In 1956, Turner joined the Kings of Rhythm, the band that would become her husband Ike Turner's. People loved her electrifying shows, and hits like Proud Mary and Nutbush City Limits kept them glued to the screen. Turner made a huge comeback in the 1980s with her famous record Private Dancer, which had hits like What's Love Got to Do with It and The Best Aside from Music. Turner also made a name for himself in films with parts in Tommy and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. The biopic film What's Love Got to Do with It was based on her book, I, Tina, My Life Story. Turner won a lot of awards over the course of her long career. She was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice and won 12 Grammy Awards. Turner fought many illnesses that could have killed him, such as high blood pressure, a stroke, and intestine cancer, but he never gave up. Tina Turner tragically died on May 24th at her home in Kuznach, Switzerland. She was 83 years old and had been sick for years. Her legacy goes on through her timeless music and the way it has influenced artists all over the world for generations. A lot of tributes from other singers, famous people, and world leaders came in after she died, showing how much she meant to music and culture. George Maharis was an American actor, singer, and visual artist who was born on September 1st, 1928. He was best known for playing Buzz Murdoch in the first few seasons of the TV show Route 66. Maharis started his work in entertainment after being in the U.S. Marine Corps. He is from Astoria, Queens. He worked on his singing skills at Flushing High School, where his skills were noticed. On his way to fame, Maharis went from doing odd jobs to starring in off-Broadway shows where his acts were praised by critics. His skills got better when he studied at the Actors Studio with well-known teachers like Sanford Meisner and Lee Strasberg. Even though Maharis had early success in theater, it was hard for him to get on Broadway, so he looked into chances in TV. His TV career took off, and he was in a lot of shows like Studio One, Kraft Television Theater, and Naked City. Many people know Maharis from his parts in the films The Mugger and Exodus. What cemented his place in popular history, though, was his role as Buzz Murdoch in Route 66. George Maharis died on May 24th at his home in Beverly Hills after a long battle with hepatitis. He was 94 years old. Even though he has died, his memory as a versatile performer and accomplished artist lives on and inspires people all over the world. There is a brother named Robert and a sister who survive him. He had a big effect on the showbiz world. Macaulay Culkin talks about his past problems with drugs and booze, saying that they were like old friends that he has grown out of. Even though he has a problem with addiction, he says he has never been to official rehab. Instead, he relies on self-awareness to keep him from abusing drugs. During an interview with Esquire magazine, Culkin talks about his past brushes with danger and how he had to pull himself together at times. He talks about giving his friends advice on how to get clean, knowing his own limits and being able to help. Culkin says he has never had a drug problem, but he does say he has tried drugs to be happy, but they haven't worked. He stresses the difference between having fun and being truly happy and warns people not to fall for the draw of drug-induced altered states. Even though his trip has been rough, Culkin is still honest about his ongoing problems with alcohol and the muscle relaxers he sometimes takes. Despite admitting that drugs hurt him, he recognizes the part they played in shaping his experiences. Culkin finds comfort and support in his friendship with actress Brenda Song. Song thinks that the difficulties he has faced in the past have made him a better actor, drawing from both the good and bad parts of his life. Culkin is focused on staying sober and growing as a person in the future. Even though he has had a difficult past, he is still positive about the future and the chance of going back to acting. This is because he is strong because he has been through hard times.